The name of my podcast is Bone Valley. Bone Valley is a region in Central Florida that's known as a hotbed for fossils. It's also the area where Michelle Schofield went missing. 4 years after Judge Cupp handed me that business card, who knew that I'd be sitting here working on a 9-part podcast series? It's the evening of February 24th, 1987. Michelle has yet to show up at Vince's house. Minutes turn into hours. Still, no Michelle.
This is where Michelle worked.
Right. This is Tom's restaurant. She clocked off at 8 o'clock p.m., and that was her last shift. 9:45 p.m., she made a phone call from right on the side of that gas station.
How long would it have taken for Michelle to leave that phone booth right there to where she was picking up Leo?
It's only a few miles away. She should have been there within 15 minutes.
But she never showed up.
She never showed up.
I expected her at no later than 10. And that's the thing, there's no way Michelle calls me at 9:45 and says she's coming to get me, and then not doing it.
So she's an hour and a half at least past when she should have been there.
Already. And so I called my dad. So my dad said, I'll wait a few more minutes, and if she doesn't show up, call me back. And I called my dad back at midnight, and I tell him, she's not here, you need to come get me. So I had my father take me down the road. She would have had to have driven.
They drive by Tom's restaurant, Sparky's gas station, and Leo and Michelle's trailer.
And no sign of her.
No sign of her, the car, nothing. We went all the way to my house. The lights were off. The car wasn't there. I didn't even stop. We came back to Vince's house.
Not a trace of her.
Not a trace. I was really, really scared for her because something's not right. Now we're hours late, and nobody knows where she's at, and I can't find the car anywhere. So I make a missing persons report at 12:43 in the morning.
Polk County Sheriff's Office, Operator 53. Can I help you?
Yes, I need to talk to somebody about finding my wife. She's 4.5 hours late coming home from work, and she only lives 10 minutes away from her job. I'm really worried about her. I called the hospital, and there hasn't been no accident tonight.
He's on hold, and he's still being recorded, and he's talking to his friend Vince.
I doubt that his sister should be just f***ing around. And if she is, God help her. But God, you don't know what it's been like. She does this to me all the time. I can't stand it. And I hate this feeling. I hate it. If there's nothing wrong with her, she should call. Just call me, you know. She was on her way here. That's why I'm tripping out, man. It's not like her to do this.
And you hear distress in his voice.
If they find her, they'll tell her to get in touch with you right away.
Thank you very much, ma'am.
And the night doesn't get any better from there. I went to her dad's house. I woke him up. I asked if he had seen her.
He was upset, he was smoking a lot of cigarettes, he's pacing around. And that's when he told my dad that he couldn't find Michelle. It kind of caught me off guard.
David Song decides to go out and search for his daughter. Leo takes off with his mother. They see 2 patrol cars parked in a gas station. He goes over to the officers.
Asking if they had the missing person report, and they didn't. So I gave them the whole story.
What's your emotional state of mind throughout all of this?
I'm not ashamed to tell you, I was terrified something bad happened to her. This wasn't right. This felt wrong from the beginning. She's not going to be out driving around by herself in the middle of the night. I was terrified.
I was working at a grocery store. Leo walked straight up to my register and he said, "Do you know where Michelle is? She didn't come home all night last night." So I walked up to the office and said, "I have to go, my best friend is missing."
A search party starts to take shape. Parents, both families, friends, they drive the streets around Cumbie and expand into other parts of Lakeland.
So this frantic search for Michelle goes on for 2 days, but there's no sign of her until, at last, there's a new lead.
One of Leo's friends is on his way home from work when he spots what he thinks is Leo and Michelle's Mazda.
Before you know it, the police have descended on the car.
The car, we found out later, has been disabled.
Part of the stereo and the speakers are missing.
You also see a Downy bottle in the back of the car that has what appears to be a blood smear on it, what turns out to be Michelle's blood. But there's no Michelle, and there's no obvious signs where she might be.
They were searching for her everywhere.
Leo Sr. starts telling people that he had this premonition, a vision from God.
Some kind of epiphany as to where he ought to look.
I have never encountered anything like that. Never before that, never since.
Hi everyone, George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel, and don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.